7 o'clock. It is currently 19 degrees. It's already gone past our predictions this morning. Doesn't feel like winter, I've got to be honest with you. Wednesday, August the 4th, middle of the week too, by the way. And I've got to welcome along everybody that's joining us on Facebook Live right now. In the meantime, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right. It worked this time, I've got to be honest with you. It didn't the last time. Was a little cantankerous, I've got to be honest. You're right here at Galaxy 107fm. Now, if you're going to be watching live right now, believe me, you're going to absolutely love what we're doing. If you're going to watch a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do. Yeah. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell notifications for when we have important people like, of course, today coming out of North Carolina. And believe me, we know a lot of people in North Carolina just lately as Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse. And believe me, you're going to love that. Check it out right here at Galaxy with the effort. And Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse here at Galaxy. So how hot is it over there?
Today, we had a little relief of a little rain, but it still got up in the high 80s.
Right.
Muggy.
Yeah.
That's the South, man. You know? Learn to live with it.
You'll have to send me some of that southern hand cleaner that you guys drink down there.
Oh, yeah. I know all about that.
You'll have to send me some, believe me.
Surely do.
It gets through, would you believe? It really does. All we have to do is pay the duty on it, the tax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Believe me, it's legal here in New Zealand. We can actually make our own without having to go to the bush to do it. You know what I mean?
Isn't that something? That's cool. I'll tell you a story about that later on.
Yeah.
You'll like.
Do that. In fact, do you know the TV or the internet series called Moonshiners?
Oh yeah, I know two of them guys. Well, I don't know them. I'm acquainted, but I've met them.
Okay.
They're the two guys. Two of the guys that are all the moonshiners. Two of them live in my hometown of Spartanburg.
Okay.
And they run their moonshine still. There's a festival down there, and I won't tell you which festival. The moonshine still that they use on that show is underneath the stage of the festival.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you know Josh?
I've met Josh a couple times, and I went down there and I played the moonshine. It's called the Moonshiners Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And I met him a couple times. To say I know him, I don't. But you know, we've exchanged sentences.
Okay. Well, I have to send you some photos. Believe me, we know Josh. A good friend of ours actually sings a song called Moonshine, and arguably he's got the deepest voice in music right now, hasn't he? Yeah, his name is Jody Medford, and he introduced us to Josh, which led on to some of the others there as well that we've spoken to. One actually is a fantastic singer. I haven't seen him for ages though.
No. Hey, Steve Baker. Hi, Paul Sparks.
Yes.
I got a moonshine song that's pretty popular. It's called "When the Shine Don't Sell."
Well, you're gonna have to send it to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a bluegrassy thing, but you know, I'm not bluegrass. I'm Americana, which is kind of bluegrass, but not. You know.
Absolutely. Believe me, I understand. It's sort of like an influences of rock, bluegrass, country, R&B, soul, all put into a blender, put it on high speed, frappe it. It comes out as Americana, just like this. It does. Let's go live.
Okay.
But I can't. Sit around, convince myself you're worth all this pain. It ain't worth the effort it takes. Sit around, convince myself you're worth all this pain. it takes.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today I'm absolutely elated. Believe me, you're going to love this, you really, really are, because we're heading on back to North Carolina. Absolutely. You know, we must know almost every artist there is coming out of North Carolina. It's such an affluent area of absolute superbness in its own right, it really does. And taking nothing away from anybody else, today we're talking to Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse. Now, welcome to Galaxy, Chuck.
Thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure, my friend. Hopefully today we've got it right. We have met in the past, but we thought you were with somebody like 2K something, whatever.
Yeah.
But we've rectified that for sure. And we have found that a lot of people are starting to literally relate to your music. They're requesting you. They want to know more about you. So we're going to go down that rocky road of getting to know who Chuck Johnson is and Charley Horse. Now, first questions first. Charley Horse, how did you come to the name, and what exactly is a Charley Horse?
Well, I'll tell you, way back in the olden days, one of the first times I went to a studio to cut a demo, there was a friend there. And we'd cut a couple songs, was listening back to it, and he said, "Man, you need a nickname." I said, "I don't need a nickname." He said, "Your name's Chuck Johnson. That's about like Bill Smith." He said, "Chuck, you need a nickname." I said, "Well, I can't begin to think of one." And he said, "Charley Horse." I said, "Okay." He said, "With a Y." So everybody started calling me Charley Horse, and that's just how that, it just became my brand. Now, on this last album, I had such great musicians with me that I just called the band Charley Horse. And we were actually a band, Chuck Johnson Charley Horse. These guys were so great that they'll always be Charley Horse to me, and I can't tell you how much I love them guys.
I fully understand. I'm just wondering, I don't suppose you would know Terry Van Cannon by any chance?
Who?
Terry Van Cannon?
I'm sorry, I don't.
I tell you what, I got to introduce you to this man, I really do. He plays slide steel, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Absolutely master at it, I really do. Got to welcome along Steve Baker, who's watching, coming out of Nashville. And Steve, I got to congratulate you with Alex Freeman. Absolutely love Alex Freeman. She's going to make a huge hit here at Galaxy. She really is. And can't wait to do the interview. Well done, Steve Baker from Visual Image Marketing, coming out of Nashville. Well done. Now, Chuck, tell me about the effort, because believe me, we're getting a lot of people wanting to know all about it. Give me the skinny on this.
Well, when I went to write music for my third album, I had a few songs, and when I was in the writing process, my oldest sister, Sergio, passed away. And she was my oldest next to my big brother. And I had watched her. She'd gotten an injury, had I think it was a surgery, and got to taking opiates. Now, Sergio wasn't the type to go down that road, but she did. It just took her. And I watched her just go. And I said, man, I want to write something around that's that personal. But I don't want to write the old, look at this person, they have addiction problems, and it's a sad ending. My brother-in-law, Larry, who stood by her and all that, that aspect of it really amazed me. The patience he had, the hurt he had to go through, the stuff he had to put up with. I wanted to write that story, and I did. It took me, once I had that in my head, it took me maybe 3-4 hours to hash out. And then I took it to the guitar player in Charley Horse, and the mandolin player, Tom Coon and Dale Meyer, and they liked it a lot. It said a lot. It was very impactful. And the first time we played it, people were crying and stuff, and I knew it was going on the album. So that's where that comes from.
Well, I tell you what, people are relating to it here at Galaxy. They are requesting it. In fact, so far 1,291 requests for it since we've been playing it. So you're doing very, very well with that. You really are. You're going to be interested about Buddha. You're going to be loving that. But first of all, I have a fan question for you. As a fan, how do we get hold of you, Chuck? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram?
Well, you know, we did have a Facebook page and all that stuff, and the PR people kind of suggested that you really don't need a full-on page until you do a new project. Then you come out with that and you promote it and all that stuff. And to be honest, Facebook has gotten to be so vile and so nasty that we're exploring other ways to market our stuff. I just don't want to be a part of that negativity. And but you know, it is what it is. You're going to have to do some of that. And but you can find me on YouTube mostly. There's Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse, and I prefer that because people can see what we do. We're very approachable, and they can communicate with us through that. Plus, we're about 4 or 5 songs in the new album, and then COVID hit. So when we get ready to release that, we're really taking our time with that and making sure everything's everything on it. And then we'll release it and have a Facebook page and have an Instagram page where all the kids hang out.
Now, the thing is, if you're going to put all of this together, will you respond?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the stories. I like meeting people that show me enough kindness to actually do respond to me in my music. And it means a lot to me. It first of all, it amazes me, you know. And second of all, I'm so appreciative of that. You know, I'm a songwriter, but I'm not the greatest songwriter in the world. And I'm a singer, I'm not the greatest singer in the world. And when people approach me and say, man, we really dug that, dude, that gets me right here, you know. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Chuck. We absolutely are loving your work. Now, did you get it done in a professional studio, or did you do it yourself in your home studio?
Well, the last record, well, all 3 records, Cotton Ink King was the first record, Snake Box on the Offers was the second record, and Barbed Wire was the third one. All of those were recorded in studios. Now, Barbed Wire was recorded in a really nice studio, Rushing Wind Studio down in Cherryville, North Carolina. That experience was my favorite experience. And if I could tell you a quick story, really quick. We had a friend, well, actually a couple, a friend of ours, that had a son. He was a grown guy, 28, 29, had an aneurysm and passed away. And these people were just so in grief, man. They were just drowning in it, you know, and it broke mine, and it broke our heart, you know. And the son had this, he had just bought this blue Telecaster. Hadn't played it 3 or 4 times. So I called his father. I talked to Dale first. I said, let's do something for that. I called his father and his mother, and I said, look, we've got this song called Katrina that's on the new record. I would love to use his guitar on that track and bring y'all into the studio, because I wanted to give them some kind of happy memory of that, you know. And they did. They come in, and we had a film crew come in. I think there's a video on YouTube Katrina, of us cutting that with them in there. And that is my favorite memory of cutting anything I've ever cut. You know, that was just so positive for them. And for us, I mean, I got as much, if not more, out of it than they did, you know.
You know, that is absolutely fantastic. I'm lost for words, I really am. Much respect to you for that, actually. I really, really do appreciate that story. And believe me, Chuck, the floor is yours. You can talk for as long as you like, if you would like to do so. We are here to get to know Chuck, and we are get to know about the music that he writes and how he records, everything like that. Have you been a songwriter for a long time now, Chuck?
Yeah.
So what made you get into songwriting?
Well, when I was over in Germany in the military, I was in Nuremberg, and I had this friend named Tim Raby, who shouldn't have been in the military. He was such a hippie, man. He was such a hippie. And I love that guy to this day. But he turned me on to Dylan, turned me on to John Prine, turned me on to Guy Clark, and he turned me on to people like Elvis Costello and Dave Edmonds and all this stuff. And I was just learning to play guitar, and I figured out real quick that I like to make my own songs up, you know. Number one, I could play them well because I knew what I was doing with them. And I think you know when you're a songwriter, you just don't, 20 years down the road, go, you know, I'm going to write a song. Now, you could do that, and it's perfectly fine, but I'm just a songwriter. I like to tell stories, man. I really do. And I like to take people on little, I call them movies in their head, you know? And to me, that's just a kick, man.
I love that.
Am I getting rich? No. I'll tell you what. It's cool.
I think we're in the same boat there. Must let you know, though, and got to welcome along Gail Hammond. Yes, one of the famous Hammond brothers is joining us this morning. Thank you, Gail, for joining us. Looking forward to meeting up with you again very, very shortly, you and Dale. Believe me, looking forward to that. Honestly, Gail is a very, very influential man. He's part of the Hall of Fame.
Gail.
Is Gail Hammond. So believe me, very, very cool to have him on board. Now, I don't think I'm going to get fat anytime soon. So I don't think I'm ever going to be called Buddha anytime soon. But I think I will play a song called Buddha as soon as I find out what it's all about. Tell me about Buddha, please, Chuck.
Well, Buddha, we had a guy playing drums at the time named Rob Thorne, who was in the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, by the way. And he and his wife were Hare Krishnas. Now, being from Packlet, South Carolina, I really didn't know what that was all about. They're very kind people, and it just made me think about how people look on a higher power. And whether it's Jesus, or Buddha, or Muhammad, or Hare Krishna, or, you know, whatever they need to tap into to gain insight or to gain comfort, I think it's a beautiful thing. So we were coming back from, I think we played a joint up in D.C. called Madam's Organ. And we were coming back, and I was in the back of the van, and I was bored to tears, man. Because the highway just looks like a highway. You know, it's nothing romantic about it to me. You know, so I got out I think I got out my iPad and started these little lyrics started coming to me. And by the time we got down to the Gray Eagle in Asheville, I had the song, you know. And it just, I hope it's not preachy. I just hope it's not preachy. I hope people will discern what I'm trying to say. But I can't control that either. The thing about my songs is when people say, what does that mean? Well, I don't know what it means. I know what it means to me, but it may mean something else to you, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about art, man.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah, down to interpretation, I get that. And
I did. you know. And I like people to come back to me and say, this is what this meant to me. And that's always a kick. So that's how Buddha come about. It's a fun little song, and it's got that, when we went to cut it, me and Dale were talking about how we're going to do it. And I said, I don't know how we're going to do it. All I want to know is, this is what I do know. I grew up in the South. And in the South, on Sunday mornings, you had these Jubilee shows where all these quartets would come in and these gospel groups would come in, and they all had this piano. And it all sounded kind of similar. I said, I want that piano in this somewhere. And we did. Dennis Johnson did a really good job of that. And it turned out to be a really fun song for us.
Well, I got to let you know, Chuck, 2,166 requests since we've been playing it. Believe me, I think everybody in the world right now are absolutely loving Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse. Here he is live with Buddha. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We will give you a copy of everything we do today, my friend.
I appreciate that.
And we're going to do something a little new that we've been experimenting with, and it seems like everybody's loving it. Barbara, we do crazy photos afterwards, so when we finish this, don't go anywhere. And we'll send you those so you can put them on your wallpaper and show your friends, you know. Yeah. Kiwis, not healthy, don't do it. But Barbara also puts together a movie for you. We give you the raw copy of the movie or the interview, and then we make it into a movie for you. Then the new thing that we're doing right now is we're going to make you into a cartoon.
Oh, good luck with that.
Well, I tell you what, it's one of the few...
I'm going to look like Mr. Evil.
No, you haven't got round glasses. Believe me, it's one of the few things in the world that actually does make me look good.
Yeah.
If you can understand
I had to cut all my hair off because of COVID. I caught COVID back in January, and it was just, it wreaked havoc. It's falling out in chunks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun.
Okay, well, we're safe here in New Zealand. We actually don't have any in our community.
God bless you.
We do have some people that come into the country, but that's MIQ. We put them into there. We take care of them. Believe me, we are looking after, the government's looking after us. We're not sheep.
I look for that enlightened. Yeah. I really do. I pray for a day where we're that enlightened.
Believe me, from day one, our government stepped up and went people first, money second. We can always make more money, harder to make more people. You know what I mean? So
we're trying to work out something where we can like come down there for 2 weeks and just do a little tour. Because according to Lord of the Rings, it's the most beautiful place on earth, man. You know?
It is, and I've got to let you know, Peter Jackson, Sir Peter Jackson, God, I find it hard to call him that. I went to university with Pete.
Is that right?
You should see some of his...
He must have been just completely obsessed with Lord of the Rings. Had to be.
J.R. Tolkien?
What?
Yeah, believe me, he well, he's an academic, I will admit that. He's very much a brain. But I knew Pete was trying to get a bottle of beer open. I remember those days, Pete, I do. Anyway, let's go back to the desk.
Ain't talking about religion.
know, let me put you in on this. Charley Horse, well, Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse is what American music has always striven to be in writing. It is. Charley Horse is truly an American band tailored for an American roots music. I got to agree. And my kind of deal. I love this music. I really, really do. And love the lyrics. Everything, including getting to know the backstories and everything like that behind the music with the artist. The whole deal. It is an absolute pleasure to have Chuck Johnson here at Galaxy. Now, I got to be honest. I tested the water with Chuck right away. I asked him if he was religious. Yeah, well, you know, because of the content of the music, I kind of had a feeling might have been somewhere, somehow, something in there. You know what I mean? And then I went ahead and asked him about faith healers and everything like that, just to see how he would react to it. But I got to ask you, Chuck, right now, not a good time in the world, you know, for this COVID virus thing going on. Does it test people's faith right now?
I think it tests people's resolve, because here in the States, I mean, we were under lockdown for a long time, and then there's this big light at the end of the tunnel, and we all went and got back. Well, a lot of us went and got vaccinated, and there was hope. And then there was the Delta variant, and then we had half the people that just refused to get vaccinated for whatever reason, whether they've been told it was bad or they don't know what's in it. But yeah, and now this Delta variant is starting to bloom back up, and we're looking at another lockdown. And I know people are weary of that, and I know people's patience is worn out 10 times over.
Has this gone into the too hard basket now?
Pardon?
Has this gone into the too hard basket right now? Do you think we're all just so...
Let
know.
me tell you something. I got the shot, and it was nothing. Now, that's my experience. I'm not going to speak on anybody else's experience. I had a guy tell me the other day, we were talking about it, he's an anti-vaxxer, and I love him to death, you know. He said, well, I don't know what's in it, Chuck. And I said, well, God, I hope I don't get sued over this. But I said, you go to McDonald's. I've watched you eat chicken nuggets. Do you know what's in those? If you think it's chicken, brother, you know.
I get it. I really do. And good analogy
I
of
want
that.
everybody to be healthy. I want all the kids to be healthy. I got grandkids that I worry about. And I worry about my children. I worry about my neighbor. I don't want anybody to get sick. And I think people's resolve and patience are really being tested right now. But I do think we're going to come out the other end of it.
Yes, I do too. I really do.
And as hard as people are, and feelings is hurt, all this big divides going on, I think in the end of it, those are hard lessons we're learning, and those are the ones that stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to be all right.
It's taking us back to basics, really, if you think about it. But yes, we will get through this. We really will. I know Barbara's had her shot, so I'm still waiting for her to go green and make another, leg or something like that. It hasn't happened yet, but, we're still under investigation with that one. But having said that, believe me, go and get your shots. Save somebody's life. If not your own, somebody else's. You never know.
Bingo.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Absolutely. Believe me, we are in big favour of looking after not only ourselves, yeah, we can say we're selfish, but you're saving other people's lives as well. Go and do it. And do it today. Make it an appointment. Be reasonable to everybody. Literally. Yeah. Chuck, snake in the snake box on the altar. Now, believe me, I'm loving this. I really am. Haven't heard it until this morning, to be very honest with you. Production pulled me in and says, hey Grant, you got to check this out. It is absolutely fantastic, my friend. Tell me all about this, because it does sound so familiar to me in places.
Yeah. Snake box. I was watching this show. I'll be honest. I was watching this show on Discovery Channel a few years ago. It was called Hillbillies and Rum Runners. And for some reason, they were talking about the hillbilly culture, and I hate that word, by the way, but I use their word. And the culture, and part of that culture is, especially in the West Virginia mountains and the East Tennessee mountains and that area, parts of Kentucky, there's these small communities that have churches that are 100, 150 years old, little white, one-room churches that exist now. And in those churches, and I've been to them, I had an Uncle Fudd. He went to one. And on the altar, there's these boxes, about that big. There's about 3 of them, maybe 4. And they're all padlocked. And the deal is when the preacher gets going and the energy goes up and people start doing their thing, and the deacons will come up and they'll unlock them boxes and flip them open. The inside of them are timber rattlers. And these 70-year-old women will walk up and pick up 2 handfuls of them because they just know God's going to protect them. Now, people get bit. And I got to tell you, I believe there's something that God, call him what you want, good energy. I don't know if I'm that resolved I can run up and grab up a snake. But I always thought it was fascinating that people just, without a doubt, without a flinch in their brain, know that's what they need to do. And it's something to watch. If you can get on YouTube and watch it, it's amazing. Now, there's been preachers bit in the face and all this stuff. Now, I just thought, man, there's a song there somewhere, And I thought, well, I don't have a snake handling song in my catalog, so I'm going to set out to write one. And I did. And that song come in about, oh, man, that was a quick one. That come in about 10 minutes, sitting at my dining room table.
Chuck, and I'm sorry for interrupting there, and I'm going to get you to continue very shortly, but I talk to so many artists around the world, and they say to me, I wrote this on a McDonald's napkin, or I did it in 5 minutes or something, but these songs seem to have longevity. These are the ones that last the longest. They seem to relate to people better than any other song. Now, Chuck, I don't know whether you know this or not, but I played it twice this morning for the very first time on Galaxy, and it blew up our internet literally. Instantly, we had about 30 people want to know straight away who, what, when, how, everything, as soon as I played it, which is really, really interesting because I can see the longevity in this one. I really, really can. Now, kind of scary that there's these churches with snakes and everything. I'm a kind of an anti-slithery thing. We don't get snakes here in New Zealand, thank goodness. I think the closest to a snake is actually an earthworm or something like that. You know what I mean? So keep the slithery things over where you are, but please enjoy them as much as you may want to partake. You know what I mean? But believe me, that's a weird thing to do in church, don't you think?
I think it is an extremely weird thing to do. But to me, the interesting thing about it is the people's mindset on it. That's the interesting thing. And it's a generational thing. See what I'm saying? Their mother's mother's mother did it. So it's locked in. And to me, that's amazing. Because it's completely bananas, man. It's bananas. And, but, if that's what makes people, I try not to judge, I just like, do your thing, man. I'm not going to go up there and grab one, But that was the interesting thing to me and what sparked me wanting to write that song.
That's definitely one of those things that make you want to go, really?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
rather go for the barbecue. You know, believe me, North Carolina church barbecue. Can't beat it. Absolutely wonderful. The family gets together, has a great lunch afterwards. Snakes, no. No, not even on my
I'm
boots.
with you, by the way. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Me and you're right there together, bro.
Very, very cool, my friend. So right here at Galaxy, joined live by Chuck Johnson, the man himself, and Charley Horse, the band. Here is his brand new song here at Galaxy, Snake Box, On the Altar.
Tell me who's that right? Charlie, who's that right?
Ooh, no, snakes, you can have those, bro. The most dangerous thing we have here is a scorned wife.
Well, I had one of them, but I made it better. I got a next one.
Trade in, fair enough. As I said at the top of this, I actually have a voice in my head, which is my producer. She gives me stats and bits of information, stuff like that. She actually is my wife as well, so she's right there. She can throw stuff at Will.
Will's
Yeah.
not here.
But Will's not here, so she'll throw stuff at me instead. Literally.
Well, you must be a good ducker.
I'm fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm in the Olympics of that one, my friend. I really am. But I tell you what, I tell women all the time that I have a voice in my head, and it's my wife and everything. Women love that idea. Officially having a voice in your head that you can admit to, right?
Yeah.
They love it even better when I say, you know, these people here, they pay her to do it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. She don't.
I lean on my wife's voice, but she's smarter than I am. She's way smarter than I am.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Yep,
And I fought
absolutely.
that battle for a while till I just acquiesced and went, you know what? You are smarter than me.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Given while the going's good.
Happy wife?
Happy life. Yes. Absolutely. I'm right there with you, my friend. I really am. And I love to make my wife happy. Well, that way I don't come out with any black eyes. Oh. She'll get me for that one later. She will. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You need sunglasses.
I need sunglasses, or I will do.
Crazy.
Chuck, we're actually watching you, watching us,
Me.
you know what I mean?
It's me.
And
Oops.
of course, Barbara just jumps on there. Are you familiar with Darth Vader from Star Wars?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you remember that lightsaber
Yeah.
sword?
Yeah, I'm a nut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, remember that lightsaber sword? That's
can
like
see.
Barbara in one of these things. You just got to get out of the way in a hurry. She's really quick. So you see, I'm a master at ducking things.
You become an expert.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm surrounded by computers and everything. I don't got a lot of way to go, so just move. Learn to move quickly.
Our North Carolina flag up here.
Yes, we have a North Carolina flag right there. We really do. It was sent to us by Brian Smith, Smitty and the Jumpstarters.
Yes.
Brilliant band.
I'll send you some. I will send you some barbecue sauce.
Cool. Tell you what, do you have a T-shirt with your name on it?
Yeah, I do. I wore this one. This is Hippie Jacks. I kind of want to promote that.
Okay, well, let's talk about that right now.
John Later, who's that right? John Revelator, who's that right? John Revelator wrote the book of the seven seals.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Absolutely love that, I really, really do. And I got to be honest with you, Chuck, you pulled this off absolutely superbly. What a great track that is.
Thank you.
Absolutely loving it. Well, I've been a fan of yours for a little while now. We were supposed to do this earlier on this year. And
It's all right.
I've been listening to your music ever since. So I've grown to absolutely love it. But this, I think, right now is, well, best yet. Now, having said that, are you going to be releasing new music? Are you writing new music? Are you recording new music?
Okay.
Will you come back again and release some stuff with
I
us?
would love to do that. I know we were 5 tracks, just about done with 5 tracks, other than actually doing the masters on them. And I don't like to do the masters till I got all the tracks done that's going to be on the record, and then, get the mixes right and all that stuff. But I want to put 7 songs on this new album. I know that's not a full deal, but I think 7 songs is a lucky number for me. I'm superstitious as all get out, man. And I've actually I may put 8 because I wrote some, I think, some really strong stuff, Now, when we get in the studio, the other guys might go, that ain't so good, Chuck. But I got 3 songs I want to present them, and we'll probably get them recorded between now and, I don't know, Thanksgiving, depending on everybody's schedule. And then I'm going to release it. Now, my plan is, as of right now, is to take a week, 2 weeks, fly down to where you're at. I really want to do that. And, I've got offered to go to Europe and Ireland and all that, and it's like everybody's done that. And I love Ireland and Europe, but I want to come see New Zealand, man. I want to come have that experience. And if I can play a little music to do it, all the better. So I'm figuring y'all's summer is our winter, right? And our winter is your summer. So along about January, which is cold here, January next year, maybe me and Dale will just fly down there and just do some acoustic shows.
Now, hold on. You said Dale. Are we talking
Dale.
about Dale Cole?
No, Dale Meyer.
Okay, yeah.
Dale Meyer is, let me tell you something, in North Carolina, Dale Meyer's name is widely known.
Okay.
He is a monster guitar player, and more to the point, he has been such an unbelievable mentor to me. He's my friend, and he's my friend that don't sugarcoat nothing. And I rely on his opinion and his slant a lot. And Dale's bluegrass picker, rock and roll picker, country picker. He's just so good and so humble with it that if we come, it'll probably just be me and Dale. And I think that'll be enough,
Well, if you need other people to make a band, we can help you out there, to be honest with you. Having said that, at the same time, we would really love to have you here in New Zealand, Aotearoa. There's something in the news this morning too. We're trying to figure out whether we should retain the name New Zealand or go to the Mary Te Reo way of saying it in Aotearoa.
New Zealand.
Barbara's strong on staying with New Zealand because it's been there since day one. You know what I mean? So I understand that. She's a traditionalist. I also understand the Indigenous folks and the way they look at things as well. So, I'm kind of in the middle, to be very honest with you. But let's not digress here. Let's get back to the subject of having Chuck and Dale here in New Zealand. We would love to do that. But, well, I can warn you, Chuck, we're a little crazy down here.
Well, that's all right. I grew up with crazy, man. I'm an old friend of crazy.
Okay, well, just before we get into the Lord of the Rings thing, I know you're going to be fascinated with this, but just quietly, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
No. Hoo-hoo grub.
Yes, well, the Indigenous folks here in New Zealand, the Maori, still today have it as a delicacy, to be very honest with you. And there's a little place down the west coast of the South Island. We're made up of 3 islands, by the way. West coast of the South Island that has what is known as a wild foods festival. Now, you'll be familiar with festivals. Kids are wandering around with candy floss, hot dogs on a stick and stuff like that. Not there. unfortunately. You might see kids wandering around with a deep-fried locust or something like that.
Yeah.
Hoo-hoo grew up. You're familiar with a caterpillar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is like a caterpillar on steroids. It's like a mini compared to a double-decker bus. It's big, it's white, and what you do with it is you put the live body in your mouth, rip off the head. Don't eat the head, it's yucky. But when you crunch down on this, it's like eating creamy peanut butter.
Real. I'm not scared of it.
Well, you must be familiar with the white worm and the tequila there.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm very, yeah.
Yes.
Too much.
So
Yeah.
I advocate a few snorts beforehand. Some people try during as well, and possibly afterwards just to wash it down. But believe me, I've had many over the years. In fact, I'm becoming quite partial to them. I went round to Barbara's place one day looking for some.
there was
Found them
something.
too. Had to compete with the chickens though. They got in
Yeah.
there quick, you know what I mean? But we found some. But having said that, Lord of the Rings. Now, you're familiar with Lord of the Rings and Sir Peter Jackson, and an hour and a half away from where we are right here in this office is the original set of Hobbiton at Middle
okay.
Earth. And we would love to be able to take you and Dale there, show you around and have a good time. You can go to all... It really is. It really is. Unfortunately, I can't take you myself. They won't let me in anymore. Something to do with a security cart. One of those golf carty things we're missing. And they're blaming me for it.
We all have a past.
Well, you know, rightly so as well. Tell Chuck Jones that Johnny Webb said hello.
Johnny Webb?
Yes. This is coming from Johnny Webb. He says, tell Chuck Jones that Johnny Webb said hello. There you go.
Hello, Johnny.
I thought you actually knew him. It comes up here. Hello, gang, rock on, from Johnny Webb as well. So believe me, nice to have you on board, Johnny. And, well, I've told Chuck, hello.
Preacher Stone.
Sorry?
He's from Preacher Stone.
From Preacher Stone. I know he's from Preacher Stone. I was
Yeah,
being...
that's where Preacher Stone. I know who Johnny Webb is. I
Do you?
do now. Now I know. I was going through the Rolodex in my head until she said Preacher Stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great guy.
I knew that too because it came up here on the screen.
Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And
A lot of fun. Their shows are a lot of fun.
yeah, big fans of Marty as well as and all the rest of the crew there as well.
Nicest guy in the world, Marty.
Yes.
Nicest
Never met
guy
him yet.
in the world.
Well-
Him and his wife Zane.
We love the whole band. We really do, and love promoting them as well. Now, talking about promoting, now I want to get to this, Charlie, but just Chuck, just before we wrap this up, we were talking about brands, and I was asking you if you had a brand T-shirt that I could wear. You see, today I'm wearing Cyrus, and people
You want
love.
to send you a T-shirt? I can do that.
I would love to wear your brand, brother man, and promote you as much
I
as
can
possible.
absolutely do that.
Would love that.
What size do you wear?
Well, I'll get Barbara to give you all the details.
Do that, and I'll ship it out here this week.
Now, at the same time, we were also saying that you're going to be releasing a brand new album. Well, I call it a skinny album or a fat EP. You know, 7 or 8 songs. Not a complete album, not a short kind of EP either. So somewhere in the middle is great. How would you like to send me half a dozen of those? We would love to do a competition, keep your name rolling here at Galaxy, and spread you out around the world. Would you consider doing that?
Yeah, I absolutely would love to do that.
Awesome. Awesome.
I don't have a name for the album yet, but that always comes at the end. You know, for me, it just does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
believe me. I was actually talking to one artist just prior to talking to you, and I said to her, why not do a dark album? Because I was actually looking at a T-shirt at the time. Why not, do a dark album like what Metallica did, where they embossed the snake on it, don't tread on me kind of deal. And she thought, that's fantastic. What would I emboss on it? And I had a couple of ideas, but
I'd hate to.
she's a counsellor. I can't go there with her, if you know what I mean. So I was saying, what's about the story on your T-shirt? Why don't you put that on there? In the meantime, she does have her own brand. Just feel it. You make it embossed, you can feel it. Fantastic idea. You know what I mean? Everybody wants
Yeah.
to know who it is, you know?
Yeah, people that listen to our music, I mean, we've got some younger fans, which I really appreciate, but people who really clam on to what we do are our age,
Yeah.
or a little younger, or a little older. And they like tactile. They like to touch, and they like to have it in their hand. And I'm all about online and buying offline and run streaming and all that, but when people come see us like at festivals, they want this so they can touch it, open it up. I've even pondered with doing some vinyl, because it's been my childhood fantasy as a musician to have a record where you can open it up, read the album, the liner notes, you know.
Absolutely.
Clean your, you know. And then that's always been a fantasy of mine. And we've looking into Jack White's place in Nashville, but that's real expensive. But I want it.
Fair enough too. And believe me, I love vinyl. I really do. I've still got a Technic stereo at home, to be honest with you. I actually
it's got that hiss. You know that it's just got that thing.
When the needle hits that
53s or whatever you want to call it, waves on a CD are great, but like Neil Young says, the quality is just about 30%. You know, so I really want to do some vinyl. I'll send you a couple of them.
Please do, and believe me, we had a young man coming out of Toronto. He sent us a vinyl song as well, and believe me, both sides, A and B, are both A sides. I've got to be honest with you. Marion Peterson's joining us. Nice to have you on board, Marion. Thank you for joining us. Now, at the same time, my friend, we're going to have to wrap this up right now. I am so looking forward to catching up with you again in the near future. And welcome to the Galaxy family too, by the way. Only one other thing I'm going to ask you is, next time you're near a recordable 58, how would you like to do a couple of voiceovers for me saying, hi, this is Chuck Johnson and Charley Horse on Galaxy 107 FM, so that we can keep you rolling here?
I surely will. I can do that.
Stunning.
I can do that in here. I've got recording equipment in here.
Awesome.
I do all my demos on.
Absolutely stunning, my friend. Send them an MP3 form, please, to Barbara, and she'll get them through to production. Production will work on them, get them in the system. We want to keep your name rolling here at Galaxy, if you know what I mean. Anything like
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah,
I can't tell how much this means to me that you guys reach out, and especially from somewhere that's so far away from me, that it amazes me, and I appreciate you, and I surely appreciate Barbara, man. She is on top of it, and thank you. And all the people that requested my music, God bless. Thank you so much.
You know, I got to agree with you, Charlie. Chuck, sorry, I keep calling you Charlie. Chuck.
That's what's on the warrant.
Yeah.
You can talk to Charlie.
Yeah, fair enough. But I agree with you. Everybody needs a Barbara, and believe me, she's my boss. She does so well for us here at Galaxy. I've got to congratulate you as well. Now, having said that, my friend, we are going to go and roll on from now. For everybody that's watching this on Facebook Live, thank you so much for joining us. If you're going to watch it a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? Yeah, you do. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. See you then. Have a good day. Don't go anywhere just yet, Chuck, because we're going to do a couple of things. But right now, let's do this.
All right.